My guest today is a Tony-winning favorite who has knocked him dead in shows like Guys and Dolls, A Catered Affair, The King and I, Bells Are Ringing, and yes, even Nick and Nora. Thankfully, she's back on the boards as Nasty Miss Hannigan in Annie. Please welcome Faith Prince. I love that.
I'm getting into character already.
What's the character today?
Woohoo!
Oh, Miss Hannigan. Miss Hannigan. I'm glad.
Oh, she's delicious.
She's delicious.
She is delicious.
You are also delicious.
Well, thank you.
You're one of my favorite people. So thank you.
And right back at you.
First questions first. How are the
Yes.
orphans?
They are incredible.
Yeah.
You know I love kids. I was like an RA in college. I was like the best babysitter on the block.
Right.
I've always loved kids, but I've also done a lot of shows with kids.
So you're actually, this whole thing about working with kids and dogs is not true? No. Well, I don't know about the dogs. I mean,
no.
That's Sunny's a diva,
no,
right?
Ducks I'm not fond of.
Ducks? No ducks.
Scrambled feet. There was a duck. The duck didn't like me. It's like, how could you not like me? Animals and kids love me. The duck did not like me. That's the only thing I've ever come in contact, and I call it a thing.
Uh-huh.
But no, the orphans are incredible.
Is there like an icebreaker thing when you're working with kids? Like, do you have to do you want to get to know them right away? And
you know, the one thing I don't do is sort of force myself on them.
Uh-huh.
And I sort of let them come to me.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that always seems to work. A little Pied Piper in there, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because if you're too big or too outlandish or too, oh, I'm just so glad to be here, you know, they just look at you like you've got, 3 eyes and 4 heads.
You got to play it cool.
So, absolutely. And just sort of subtly warm.
Uh-huh.
That's the way I sort of go at it.
I have a pop quiz question.
Okay.
This is your what number show on Broadway? How many shows have you done on Broadway?
Oh, my God.
Do you have any
That is
idea?
a pop. 12?
Ah, you got it.
Did I really?
Dirty Dozen, yes.
Did I really?
It's your 12th
Oh my God.
credit.
I'm glad. Woo-hoo!
Can you list them?
Yes.
Do you want in like order, backward order, frontward order?
Front order. Jerome Robbins, Broadway. Nick and Nora, Guys and Dolls. Oh, shoot.
A rare one.
Oh, I put it away. What's wrong with this picture?
Put that away.
Okay. King and I, Little Me, The Dead.
One of my favorites.
Okay. Wait, hold on.
You're going back.
Bells Are Ringing, A Catered Affair.
You forgot one.
I did.
A Farce.
Noise is off. Okay, another one. Boy, this is really a hard quiz.
See, it's hard to know your own life.
No, can I tell you something? Because you just go forward and you don't really think about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny. I got a studio recently where I put all my memorabilia for the first time in my life.
A little museum.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of put it up for the students to sort of look at, and and I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this stuff? So I just put it up on the walls, and I was like, oh wow, I guess I've done a couple things. That's good, But I really never think about it. I'm always thinking of what's next.
So let's fill in the final.
Okay.
So Noise is off.
Let's do. A Catered Affair, The Little Mermaid,
and here we are.
and Annie.
Now and this is like Miss Hannigan. Like when I heard you were going to play Miss Hannigan, it's funny. I saw the show the other day.
Yeah.
I know I saw a really early performance, but
did.
You're brilliant. I adore you, and I love seeing you do these classic musical comedy roles.
Oh my God! Give me a couple of weeks, but
I will. I'll come see it again.
It's a incredibly well written role. She is unlikable, but you understand why she's unlikable, and I just always love characters that are complex. And so she's always got something else going on. She's trying to get a man, she's competing with a 10-year-old. I mean, all those things I find delicious. So I don't know, I just try to take advantage of those levels so that, when I'm trying to flirt, my voice is up here and then I'm down here, listen, you little snit, and I love those levels, To me that makes me laugh. Just off the bat.
I also love when we get to hear that Faith Prince voice, the little laugh and the little do one.
What do you mean?
Thank you. That's it right there. I love it.
Well, and the songs are just deliciously charactery.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to sort of walk away from myself in another person.
Yeah.
It really just sort of sits in there for me.
You never played this role in the past,
never.
Have you ever?
Never even thought about it really. And I saw Dorothy Loudon do it, and I was sure I was going to get a couple of head shakes in for her. I just remember she shook her head a lot, and I thought, this is for you, Dorothy. This is for you.
Did you ever meet Dorothy Loudon?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. My girlfriend actually covered her on the road for Showboat.
Oh.
So I
Wow.
got to meet her and talk to her. Big fan.
Yeah.
Her 50%.
Yeah.
Ballroom was my first Broadway show that I ever saw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that a good role for you? I don't know it that well.
Probably.
Grace, Grace,
Probably.
I know the song. The song
Actually,
is great.
probably it would be.
I think of you, see, and here's the problem. When I see you in a show, then I just can't stop thinking about you. And I just come up with like role after role after role. And I'm just like, let's do this, let's do this.
I knew I loved you. I knew I loved you. Well, you know what I was thinking the other day? That Anthony Warlock.
With the World, Daddy Warbucks.
And I would do a great Sweeney Todd.
Oh, yes.
I really think the two of us, and we have a lot
You
of
did it
chemistry.
before.
We only have like one line, exchange in the show. Oh, I just think he's fantastic.
Okay, so let's do that.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Is he game?
And
Can
well,
we...
I don't think he even knows yet. I was going to tell him Friday night, and now here it is.
I love that idea.
I do too.
And you did that role somewhere, like in concert or something?
Yes. Oh, how do you know that? Orlando Philharmonic with Davis Gaines, who was also wonderful. It was really, I learned it in 8 days, though.
Wow.
I pulled my hair out with tweezers. It was, oh my God, the hardest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to play a little game. We talked about all these roles, the 12 roles. You got it right. You know your career. I'm so glad you got it right.
Well, I missed a couple.
Some of them you said like, that one I got rid of that one. Is it better to just move on from some things?
I think it is. I think it is. I don't like being negative, but neither do I have to revisit it.
Right.
You know?
Okay, enough said. Out of all those roles, which one could you, if they called you and said, we need you to do it tonight, is there one of those roles that you could just like walk on and is it?
No, I don't have that kind of mind.
Huh.
I have to put the chip back in because
Wow.
I am one of those minds that in the moment, I will memorize it and I'm definitely there. I put it away and it's shelved somewhere in the back of the library there.
Huh.
So I have to like pull it up. And once I pull it up, I'm back in. But I couldn't do it tonight. That would be like one of those nightmares that you have.
Uh-huh.
You know, where you're going, I know I'm doing something here and I know I should be saying something, but I don't know what it is.
What about the songs? Like you obviously know Adelaide's Lament, like the back
Well,
of
I
your...
still do it a lot.
You do it a lot, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's greatest
People
hits.
still want that, you know. And you know, and I made my peace with that. I really embrace that because sometimes people go, oh God, I've sung it 1,000 times. But you know what? I honor it. I really do.
You actually have a new live album that I was just listening to, like right before you walked in the door.
Total Faith.
Yeah, and you open it with a medley of all those songs.
I
It's really great. It's just like a great way to sort of get that over with, right?
Absolutely. I
Here
sort
we
of
go.
get
We're
it
doing
out
all
of the
the
way.
hits.
Somebody said, I've never seen anybody do their signature song right up front. And I go, yep, moving on.
5-minute concert.
Absolutely. And woo, take two, you know. But no, it was down at the Colony Hotel at the Royal Room, which I love.
Yeah.
And Rob Russell, who runs that room, is a dear friend. And so I said to him, what if we did a live album, you know, like live from Las Vegas, the Sands, you know, and I thought live from the Colony Hotel, the Royal Room in Palm Beach. And it was so much fun to do.
I loved your other live album too.
Leap of Faith.
Leap of Faith,
That was Joe's Pub.
It's so great how your name lends itself to headlines and titles.
Well, you know, so if you have any suggestions for the next couple coming, let's see what I have now. Leap of Faith, Total Faith, Have a Little Faith. I named my 54 Below gig.
On the Broadway.com show this week, which is
Yes.
the show we have here, we counted down in honor of the new royal baby our 5 favorite Broadway princes, and you're number 1.
Get out of
Faith
here!
Prince is number 1. That's our favorite prince.
Oh, I'm in love with you.
So wait, going back to that
Yes.
those roles, if you could put one of your performances in a time capsule for the rest of time that people could like access and know that's Faith Prince, what performance would it be?
It'd have to be Adelaide and Guys and Dolls.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Well, it's quintessential, probably. I think that role sort of allows me to use every uniqueness I have. If you said the most different role, it'd probably be A Catered Affair.
Yeah.
Because I think people don't think of me like that.
What
but
about-
that is a part of me.
Here's another one. What about a former co-star you'd love to work with again?
Well,
Top of your head.
Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
Did you like working together?
Loved it. We got on so incredibly. It was just
See, I think people would love to see you guys do something together again.
Oh yeah, we could do a lot of things actually. I mean, I always think of us as sort of George and Gracie Allen and you know, Jackie Gleason and Audrey Meadows. I mean, there's just all those relationships. Definitely chemistry.
Why couldn't Nathan play Sweeney Todd? Let's shake it up.
Absolutely. Nathan? Honey?
There's something about, and this is true of you and Nathan, you were both hilarious in Guys and Dolls. Classic musical comedy turns. But I love watching when you do darker things, both of you. And Nathan is now like nailing it in the Nance. This beautiful performance. And I loved you in The King and I, Catered Affair. All these, is it, why, what is that? What is it about you funny people?
Comedians, I think, come from darkness. It's a coping mechanism of a way to deal with usually trauma or a bad situation. It's a coping mechanism. And so you can bet if they're a great comedian, there's darkness to be found.
Yeah.
And the people that get that and allow you to really try different things know that.
Right.
You know, and they just, but I always need a good leader. You know, like I don't think I would have done A Catered Affair without John Doyle.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think I would have done King and I without Chris Renshaw. I mean, I was like, I'll do this, but you've got to help me.
So stepping into something like Annie, which has obviously been running almost a year.
Yes.
2 other actresses have played Miss Hannigan.
Yes.
Katie Finneran, Noises Off, co-star.
Who I love, you're right.
And
who's brilliant.
And Jane Lynch
who's
of Glee.
Brilliant in a completely different way. And
when you're stepping into something like that, and obviously it's a classic role.
It is.
But like when I saw it the other day, you told me that you were like starting to play around with some things on stage. So what is that process like? Do you like to sort of, and then I was thinking about Miss Adelaide, and I think one of the reasons why that was such an amazing breakthrough for you was because you had your own twist on it.
Right.
I mean, you have to find, there's the framework of these roles, but you have to find your own thing.
And I'll tell you, like, I mean, literally I had 2 weeks of rehearsal for this show, which I don't know if that seems like a lot to somebody. It doesn't to me. That's like summer stock.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But to sort of find all the things and organically, you know, get all, to me that's very fast. So you have a blueprint though here that if I were creating it with everybody else, then we'd all be working together, and it may not start over at the door, little girls, you know, it may not start like that. It might have started the girls doing things to me and then running off. I mean, I have a million images in my head, but that's not this show. So you have to honor the blueprint that's there, but then you have to be yourself within it. And it really is a fascinating puzzle, actually one that I enjoy when I don't have to do it in 2 weeks, you know, because it is fast. But it's kind of fun. It's like a game. It's like a puzzle.
I love watching you go through that process, though, because I think
it's fun. It's
fascinating.
I think
it's a sign of a real comedian, like that you're sort of really up there, sort of creating these moments. And
but it is harrowing, you know, and I think sometimes too people go, oh, can't wait to see you, and it's like, oh, okay, but you know, it's like it does have a blueprint, and I'm just going to find what I can within it and try to honor it. You know.
So what's an ideal date for these people to go see you in Annie?
Next year,
August 4th.
I would say, couple weeks.
August 4th.
August 4th.
If there's a show
Come
that
on,
day.
Nikki. No, but do you know what I'm saying? A couple weeks. You know, I'll be in there and.
What do you think about
getting my hands in the dough?
So if we think back about when we first met, it was 1992.
Yes.
A good year. Good year.
It was a very good year.
It was a very good year. You were the first person I interviewed who won a Tony. Actually, that was very exciting. I had to let you win a Tony. Tony night.
Do you remember where we went for the interview?
Yeah, we went to that restaurant that has a different name. Now it's Rosa Mexicana. It was called America.
Yes. Oh, you're good. I thought I was going to get you now.
You were literally on the cusp of everything that happened. You know what I mean? Like Guys and Dolls was this just explosion in your career. I remember just the way the audience would react and the reviews, and I mean.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
It's wild.
I have to tell you. That show means so much to me, but I have to tell you that part of it was not my favorite.
The attention, the energy?
Yeah, it's because it takes away from the work, oddly enough. And it's funny because some of my students will say, "Oh, tell me what that was like," and I went, "Well, you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you." It just, I don't know.
Is it because it's just so much is happening?
Yeah,
it's just
it's like a
very dense
train running at you or something. It's just, it's overwhelming, I think. And I'd always been just a character actress, you know? And even for a while, I think it really knocked my career kind of off track in a way, because I like to say, oh, you look at a piece and you feel like, let me get my head in there. If this is something I'd really want to do. And then it became, well, you know, it's got to be a leading thing. And it's like, well, but I'm not always a leading thing. You know, I have a lot of elements to me. I'm just saying, it's not what one would think. Now, somebody else might come in here and they really love that part of it. Yeah. Not me so much. Yeah. You know, I enjoy being honored like that, especially by my community. Yeah. But that part of it was not the best part of it for me.
Do you think that you were a very ambitious actress then?
No.
Or it's just kind of all this happened to a nice girl?
It happened to a working actress.
I remember exactly where you were in the Broadway community at that time.
Yeah.
And the right actress got the role. It was like, she should play Adelaide.
Yeah.
And then it happened.
Right. Yeah. And I like for things to happen like that.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of it is about something else that I don't, I mean, you know, again, it's not like I would never look a gift horse in the mouth. Right. But it's just not my favorite part of the process. Yeah. You know?
What about now? What about coming back and you did Billy Elliot on the road?
Yes, I did.
You're always doing something, and you're always doing concerts, and you're doing a lot of TV.
I am.
I know my friend Marissa Jarrett Winokur recently put up a photo of you two on the set of Joey and
Melissa and Joey. Oh yeah, I played Joey's mom.
Yeah, you guys were both.
And Doris Roberts' daughter. I love Doris Roberts. Oh my God, that show was a hoot.
Marissa was so excited to be working with you, and then.
I love her too.
This is random, but the other day I ran into Casey Levy, who was in Ghost on Broadway, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love Faith Prince." But I told her I was seeing you in Annie. Oh. So it's interesting. Do you get that a lot from these younger actresses who sort of saw these iconic?
And a lot of them. I had this girl come up to me the other day. I was in a salon and she had her stuff, and she said, "Do you want me to move my stuff?" And I said, "No, it's fine. I'm just going to sit down and have my hair blown out." She went, "But you're Faith Prince." And I was like, it just totally took me off guard. And I went, "You are so cute." She goes, "I saw you when I was 10. You changed my life." You know, and I'm like, 10, really? Okay, taxi. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
no, it was so cute.
But you think about the roles that you saw when you were a kid and those people.
Listen, it makes me so happy, you know, and I really, when people, you know, stop and tell me that, I'm very
So tell me
pleased.
About, you live in Sacramento.
I do. I don't tell everybody that, but yeah.
Right? What is your life like when you're not doing anything on stage? Like, what is just Faith Prince relaxing like? What do you do?
I love to cook.
Okay.
I love to entertain.
I remember that. I remember weren't there like pancakes and
but I've moved on from breakfast. Okay. And,
you moved past breakfast. Okay.
No, honestly, I have a studio. I have a partner, Natasha Burr, who actually I met on Billy Elliot. She was one of the coaches and the wrangler for the Billies, and she's also a teacher. And we have a studio there in Sacramento. We have about 100 students between there and San Francisco. We also have a little studio in San Francisco. And I've really enjoyed giving back and helping kids get connected to the arts in the way that they want to. And it seemed to be a good town because it's filled with theaters up there. Yeah. But what we offer a little bit is how to sort of get into the trenches in New York and LA and how to, like the best schools to go for training, getting their material, you know, thinking practically. If some people have graduated from those colleges, and then we go into and help them sort of get right into the heart of the business. And sometimes that may be like taking classes at Neighborhood Playhouse and just getting a network of people. But we have all sorts of ideas because we've lived it.
But yeah, and it's interesting when you've lived it, you really do know everything about the business, the good and the bad. And what is it like when you're passing that on to someone fresh-faced and so excited to?
Well, honestly, you're never going to hear anything like, oh, well, I mean, it's like when I walked into Cincinnati Conservatory, where I went to school, it was like, you know, by the end of the school year, the person sitting next to you won't be there, and the business is so hard. I mean, they were like
really?
negative city, you know.
Oh, wow.
I'm not like that. I just don't believe in that. It's just not what I believe in, because I think if you have a passion for something and you're relentless, which is also, if I could bottle anything, that's what I'd bottle.
Right.
If I could sell it, I'd sell my relentlessness.
Okay.
Then I
Are
think
you still relentless about your career?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm relentless about everything. And you have to be that,
Yeah,
especially in New York.
Yeah.
But you have to be that way with the telephone company. You have to be that way with the cable company. You have to be that with your own health in a hospital.
Yeah.
You have to be that when you're the advocate for your mother when she's having issues.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in life, that's a good thing to have. So honestly, I talk a lot about that.
Right.
And I talk about also having a life, having a personal life along with your art, because that's going to make you a better actor, or maybe you go from acting to stage managing, or maybe you want to produce, or maybe you want to, you know, like do something like what you did. There's so many possibilities. So you're not going to hear negative out of my mouth, because to me, that's just a waste of time.
Right. How are Larry and Henry?
They're incredible.
Speaking of family.
Well, my son is 18.
I know. That hit me, because I thought, wait a minute, is he about to go to
off to
college?
I can't believe
Is it killing you?
Oh my God. And I know Mrs. Hannigan was delicious, but he's delicious in another whole way. He's an incredible kid.
Wow.
And he's a wonderful guitarist. He was just here at 54 Below with me.
Right.
And Larry, my husband's a trumpet player, of course.
Music
and
family.
The three of us played. It was, can I tell you, honestly, it was the best week of my life.
Wow. Wow.
It was really the best week. The thing I'm most proudest of, he's just a great human being. He really is. Yeah, like, I have actually made the earth better by having this child, you know, and Larry's an incredible dad, so. But honestly, that part of my life is, you know, that, and I take care of my mom, you know, and I'm very close with my in-laws, so we've had quite a little village there. But during that whole time, I've worked, and I did Billy Elliot for a year. I do Drop Dead Diva down in Atlanta. I shoot that.
Wow.
So, and I have the studio. And I think it's made me a more fun actress, and it's all, when you break things down like that and then you go back to the work, you have another whole thing to give. And I have to say, I'm even more passionate than I was in my 20s.
Wow.
It's been a wild journey. I mean, you know, because I moved from here, you know, and my son was 6, and he goes, "Hey, Mom, do you think you could put me to bed before college?"
Right. Right.
My husband goes, "Well, you know what that means, don't you?" And I go, "Yeah, I better get packing." And we did. We sold our house and moved to LA, and we lived there for 5 years. And that was fine. I got myself in more TV. I did Huff, you know. I did lots of episodic, you know.
Wait, you've done a lot of TV.
I have.
What did you play on Mad Men? On IMDb? You're not on your IMDb page said you were on Mad Men.
No, no.
It says you played woman uncredited.
Did it really? Yeah. God, I love Mad Men. I don't remember it, but
you were terrific.
Actually, I would be good on Mad Men. No, I know I've never done Mad Men. I've done CSI.
You've done a lot.
Yeah,
You've done a lot.
yeah.
You've done a lot.
Spin City, I did for years.
Yeah,
you know, and it's funny. Once and again, you know, I kind of build up those little TV things.
Yeah.
But and Drop Dead Diva's been, you know, Brooke Elliott is a Broadway gal.
I love Taboo. She was in Taboo.
She's
incredible.
Fantastic, and she's a great gal.
You think she'll come back to Broadway?
Oh, I hope so. She's so gifted. She's so gifted.
You can do something with her.
And I love playing her mother too.
She could play yours and Nathan Lane's daughter in something.
Right?
Let's do this.
I'm telling you, the three of us.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
They don't have a kid. So how can people find out about your school out there?
Well, it's called Mini Moon Productions is the name of our studio. And we teach all over the country, and I have a lot of Skype students.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I have students from Las Vegas, Canada. You know, I've taught at Yale at the Cabaret Convention up there. I teach down at PCPA. Natasha and I go down there and do master classes. And so we do a lot. I've done some stuff at Northwestern, you know. So I honestly, I'm as jazzed about teaching as I am about, you know, playing clowns. And
well, I can tell that you're enjoying playing clowns more from it because you're incredible.
Yeah, it really
Annie.
makes you present.
Yeah.
Because you think you have to also do what you're, you know, you have to walk the walk, talk the talk, you know.
One more guilty pleasure question. Do you, like me, do you ever just put on the Falsetto Land album and sob?
Honestly, I'll tell you something.
I took a drive.
I know. I took a drive down to LA for something, and I had not heard it since I did it. And I listened to the whole thing, and I did sob.
Right?
I did.
That's a show that I wish it should just always be playing.
Yeah. And honestly, I was like, wow, this was huge. You know, and sometimes when you're in the middle of something, you know it's affecting people and stuff, but it isn't till you reflect on it and you just go, I mean, I can't tell you the people. In fact, I have a show with Jason Graw called Prince and the Showboy.
Right.
And he and I, because he was in Falsetto Land too. He was in, like, when they did it on Broadway.
Right.
And
falsettos.
Yeah, falsettos, that's right. But I did do Holding to the Ground in that show. And I have to say, it's just, it's really something. That Bill Finn, he's got it.
Would you mind singing it right now? And I'll just
sure growing up I would live the life my mother soon I'd live. Very Jewish, very middle class, and very straight. Where healthy men stayed healthy men, and marriages were long and great.
All right, if you sing one more line, I'll lose it.
Funny.
I'm going to lose it. So let's not do that. I don't want to do that on camera. Faith Prince, I'm so thrilled you're in Annie. Everyone needs to see after August 4th you as Miss Hannigan.
Thanks, Paul.
You did the laugh again. Anytime you do the laugh, I'm happy.
You're the cutest.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So great to see you. And everyone needs to check out Annie at the Palace Theater.
Yes, they do.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.